What's going on, YouTube? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Texas Street Stories. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, help your boy out and hit the subscribe button. On this episode, we're going to be talking about Aryan Brotherhood of Texas leader Texas Mike gets life sentence. A high-ranking member of the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas was sentenced to life in prison without parole for torturing, killing, and burning a man who owed him $600. Michael Lynn Rogers, 48, was convicted Friday of capital murder for the torture killing of 34-year-old Alberto Gonzalez. He received an automatic sentence of life without the possibility of parole. While the verdict was read, more than 15 bailiffs were in the courtroom to ensure that jurors were able to leave the courthouse safely. Family and friends of Rogers filled the gallery. Before delivering the verdict, members of the Dallas County jury asked if their names would be made public. One man testified during the trial that he was afraid of Rogers and believes the white supremacist gang wants to have him killed for testifying against the defendant, who is known as Texas Mike. He said Rogers is second in command of the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas in the North Texas region. Gonzalez was killed at Rogers' house in the 1000th block of Toronto Street near Singleton Boulevard in West Dallas. His body was dumped and set on fire next to a pond in the 1500 block of West Hunter Fell Road in July 2016. Gonzalez had been beaten, hit with a hammer, sexually assaulted with the broom, slapped with the machete, and worked over with power drill, court records show. During a police interview, Rogers downplayed his role in Gonzalez's slaying, pointing to other people who were in the house at the time. Gregory Collar, 29, and Jaw Pond Street, 33, have both been charged with murder in Gonzalez's slaying. They were among a handful of people at the house that night he was killed and were present when his body was dumped in Irving. Collar, nicknamed Gator, received a 10-year sentence for a reduced kidnapping charge as part of a plea agreement. He testified against Rogers. A trial date has not been set for Street's case. Defense attorney Stephen Duplantis argued that Street, a member of the White Knights, was the primary actor in Gonzalez's slaying. Duplantis said investigators had tunnel vision and arrested Rogers in a rush to judgment. Gonzalez was not affiliated with either of the white supremacist gang. He had gone to Rogers' house to buy drugs. While Gonzalez was there, Rogers accused him of stealing $600. Collar explained that the group at Rogers' house, which included a member of the primary Hispanic gang, Dongo Blast, did not discuss Aryan Brotherhood business. He said they were all there just for drugs. He said Aryan members aren't opposed to hanging out with members of other gangs, which have primarily minority members. He said money brings them together. Only thing that matter is green, he said. Collar and his girlfriend, Shelby Spriggs, were both at the house when Rogers started hitting Gonzalez. Both testified that Rogers was mad about his missing wallet. They said that eventually Rogers agreed to let Gonzalez mow his lawn for a month to pay off the debt. The disagreement settled down and everyone began to use methamphetamines together. But after a while, Rogers grew angry again about his stolen money. That's when Streets grabbed a hammer and bashed Gonzalez's legs, authorities say. Collar said he also kicked Gonzalez and then hit him on the head with the beer bottle. Collar says Rogers and Street were the ones who got more violent towards Gonzalez at one point. They used a hot spoon to singe Gonzalez's face. Spriggs said she could hear Rogers demanding to know where his wallet, why Gonzalez was crying out for help. You got the wrong person, Gonzalez said, according to Spriggs. At one point, Rogers said he couldn't let Gonzalez leave the house alive. Spriggs and Collar said. Rogers went into his bedroom to get a drill and took it to the kitchen, where Gonzalez was incapacitated on the floor. That's when Collar heard drilling sounds. Gonzalez had 4 holes drilled in his head, 1 in his chest, and 1 in his rib cage. Once Gonzalez was dead, Collier said the group called another person with the truck to help him dispose of the body. They put Gonzalez's body into a toolbox and drove to the dump site at the pond. During a recorded police interview, Rogers said the white knight guy was to blame for a lot of the abuse. Rogers said in hindsight, he wished he had called the cops. He said he always felt bad for Gonzalez because he had a speeching problem. I'm big-hearted with people like that, Rogers said. Prosecutors Tommy Adams and Dewey Mitchell said Gonzalez's death is likely being used by the Aryan Brotherhood as an example that people don't owe us debts. People don't steal from us. Well, thank you for tuning in. That's the story of an Aryan Brotherhood leader that got a life sentence that goes by the name of Texas Mike. And I end this episode with, like always, just be yourself and don't try to be somebody you're not, because at the end of the day, you end up in a place you regret or end up doing something you regret. So just real simple, just be yourself. And once again, help your boy out and hit that subscribe button.